Hey everyone, me Xavier. I'm here at the famous Monarch Museum in Pacific Grove. That's one of the many towns we got here in. Oh, Museum of Natural History. Thank you for correcting me. And I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna do an interview about the Monarch and everything. Yeah, don't worry. And I'm just gonna talk to the person in front about the butterfly migration I have here every year. They go from all the way from Mexico to Vegas, over here. Let me show a little bit of the museum. Got the whale right there. Some questions. Ready? Count three.
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, go. Hey, excuse me. Hey, I'm Xavier Gamble here to do some animal social justice and some questions. You are who, Nick? Who again?
My name's Nick Stong, and I'm the Education and Husbandry Programs Manager here at the Pacific Grove Museum of Natural History.
Wow. And so, where exactly is Pacific Grove? What state is Pacific Grove located in?
Yeah, so we're right. Yeah, no problem. We're right here in Central California, on the Central California coast, and we're in Monterey County. So it's a pretty big county. It includes other cities like Salinas. Carmel, Seaside Marina, and Pacific Grove, right here near Monterey. So if anyone's heard or been to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, Pacific Grove is kind of right next to that.
Okay, so a county is like four towns, like a whole bunch of towns run into one area.
Exactly.
And so I'm here today to want to know about the monarchs. So for all the people who don't know, so is it true the monarch butterflies, the mariposas in Spanish, for all you Spanish speakers out there, they migrate here every year?
They do, yeah. So every year...
these guys right here.
Exactly. The monarch butterflies, they migrate here from... when you look at our country, the United States, we have two main populations of monarchs. Those that are east of the Rocky Mountains, which migrate to Mexico every year, and then back up north, and then the monarchs that are west of the Rocky Mountains, which migrate to the coast of California every year. So here in Pacific Grove on the coast of California, every year we have monarchs that migrate to our coast and spend the winter in overwintering sites up and down the California coast.
Do they migrate to any other states you know of?
No, so in the they migrate through other states on the way to California, but then they spend the winter here on the California coast. They arrive around November 1st, sometimes more like mid-October, and they stay all the way through November, December, January, and they tend to leave somewhere between the end of January and mid-February.
Do any of them come around October?
October is when we start to see our first few monarchs, so every now and then we'll see maybe 50 monarchs arriving in October, but we really get our higher numbers start to kind of pour in November.
Okay. Yeah. So, in the Monterey County area, Carmel, what areas do we? I saw there's actually specific areas people can go to see the monarchs. What areas can you go to recommend? Any addresses for which places they go to see the monarchs? And those places more than others see more monarchs than others in PG. What places should they specifically go to see them?
Absolutely, that's a great question. You can't just go anywhere in Pacific Grove and hope to see lots of overwintering monarchs. There are specific spots. So one is the Pacific Grove Monarch Butterfly Sanctuary. Happens to be about 1 mile from the museum here. It's at, I believe, 250 Ridge Road. Is the address here in Pacific Grove. It's actually a public park, so there's some signage. The museum provides docents and volunteers out there who have spotting scopes that will help visitors look at the monarchs while they're up in the trees.
Okay.
That's probably the best spot to view the monarchs. If you're up in Santa Cruz County, so just north of Monterey County, okay, there's a Monarch Sanctuary at Natural Bridges, a state beach right there in Santa Cruz, another great spot. Pismo Beach is another spot, a little bit further south.
Do you have the address for both those locations?
I don't, but if you were to just look into Natural Bridges State Beach, it pops right up online. You can find it that way. And then Pismo Beach is another one you could find pretty easily online. I'm not sure of that.
Do you have any websites you recommend to tell the viewers?
Yeah, so pgmuseum.org is the museum's website. We have all sorts of monarch information on there. There's also an organization called the Xerces Society. It's xerces.org, and they study invertebrates from butterflies to shrimp to bees all over the country, and they do a lot of monarch work, so they have great info on there too.
So they very, very active with the activities of the our insect pals, if you would call them insects.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And also, are these places are there tourist results? I saw actually a place passing by. There's it has pamphlets that they show where to go. But in that area, it's not too far from where's the name of the area? It's near the Carl Jr.
Oh yeah. So I think you're thinking of right here near. That's right at the border of Pacific Grove and Monterey. near the Carl's Jr. and I believe it's a Andronico's supermarket. I think it's the Monterey Chamber of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce in different towns. There's one in Pacific Grove, there's one in Carmel, one in Monterey. Those are great places to start to find those tourist spots, the Monarch Sanctuaries, museums and aquariums. Chamber of Commerce is a place to find the pamphlets and the info on where to go, where to eat, where to be entertained, and that's one there. There's actually one right next to the museum here for Pacific Grove Chamber of Commerce.
I'll definitely get that on camera. One more thing before I go. Do appreciate your time though.
Yeah.
So the Monarch Sanctuary is the place to go. So these are perfect places. I've actually been to one of them. Nice. I'll get that on camera one day. But so I noticed. It seems like even though I didn't see it all because we were got there kind of early to see the Monarchs. But is it I noticed, and what I've heard and what I'm guessing, what I've seen, because I saw a school and a hotel. I guess do people live there in perfect harmony with the Monarchs?
That's a really good question. So you will notice if you go to the Pacific Grove Monarch Sanctuary, it's not a huge grove of trees. It's actually it's a park, but
like this.
Yeah, but there are houses and hotels right around it. And
school as well, right?
And an adult school and a preschool next door. So it takes a bit of a balance. You have people walking through that grove. You have to make sure it's safe for the people and welcoming for the monarchs. So it does take a lot of planning. So the city of Pacific Grove, along with some advisors here at the museum, work hand in hand. And it's every year we have to work on what's the right balance of keeping it safe for people. Keeping it to where the neighbors, the hotel and the residents are happy,
kids.
And the monarchs keep coming back, and the kids are safe. So it is a balancing act in this day and age. And you have lots of people, lots of buildings. We still want to make space for the animals like the monarchs.
Okay, would you say it's very possible we can have a balance with Mother Nature and still not step on Mother Nature's toes at the same time? It's possible?
I think it's definitely possible, but it takes work. Yeah.
Both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
But definitely human beings though.
Yeah.
And also, so also real quick before I go, so don't they come from Mexico out here?
So this is one of the misconceptions. Our monarchs here, west of the Rocky Mountains, the ones that come to California, actually never go to Mexico. So people always think, they're either on their way to Mexico or they've just come from Mexico when they're here.
Big confusion.
And that's not the case. A bit of confusion. If you're east of the Rockies, the eastern monarch, those ones go to Mexico and back every year. Ours actually, instead of going to Mexico, they come to California.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Nice to talk to you, Nick.
Xavier, nice to talk to you too.
Can I take a picture?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, press the white.
Come back, Charlie. Yeah, get it.
Is it your own
Thank you.
Kind of don't make sense. Like the ice age was like this. They were like a big old.
No, she always corrected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are these free? So those are.
Hey guys, this is where you go. The guy mentioned the information about the local area and the local monarchs here.
What store you said the Kardashian?